Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's Tuesday, and this time we're going to be talking about the performance of the Spider Adidas D.O.N 2s. So stick with me. So starting off the bat, we're going to be talking about the foundation of the shoes first, which is the traction. And the traction pattern or the traction design of these shoes is actually like the webs of Spider-Man. And surprisingly, this works well. And usually Adidas will do this. So what I wanted to say here is that Adidas like to have these data-driven patterns from their players like Donovan Mitchell's and James Harden. So the problem here is like we don't move the same way or exactly the same way James Harden or Donovan Mitchell moves. So sometimes this traction pattern is a hit, sometimes it's not, but in this case, it's definitely a hit. Again, like the traction is actually amazing. Like it has a very consistent bite, and yeah, like as you can see, like these patterns here, like instead of like dust getting in there, it's actually pushing the dust away. So outdoor perspective, like if there is dust present, it pushes the dust away, so you don't have to wipe these as often. And second thing I like is like the flex grooves here, like these things. It actually allows your foot to actually like flex and like move very freely without sacrificing like the support of it. So anything here, like it's supposed to mimic how your feet is supposed to move or flex. So the second thing I want to talk about the shoes has to be the cushion. So if you don't know, like most of these shoes right now is featuring bounce. And in this setup right here, like it does its job absolutely well. And if you don't know, bounce is actually like an EVA, but it's formulated to be more to give more energy when you put energy in it. So it bounces, like that's why it's called bounce. And secondly, in terms of durability, it's actually a durable option for sneakers. So it's not gonna bottom out as quickly as EVA, but preferably, like for me, I'd rather see like boost in there, especially like this is a signature shoe of Donovan Mitchell. So for me, as long as the cushion setup is actually good, like you won't feel pain. Even if the cushion in the forefoot is dead, like you won't feel it rebound. That's actually good enough for me, and you can play in these things for quite a while before you start to get tired. Now the fourth thing I want to talk about has to be like the ventilation, and as you can see, like most of these things is actually just mesh. There are some overlays here that gives it support, but anything else, like it's kind of like the LeBron 19 where it's not open flowing. So that means like air does not get in the shoes, but heat does escape rather well. So you're not gonna experience any blistering in these shoes. So I actually like it, like just letting the heat escape and making sure that your feet is not sweating. That's enough for me to be comfortable with the shoe. And in terms of support, like they do fit in some overlays in there, like some of the sides, like especially here, like these reflective material. It actually gives like the shoe support and structure around this part of your shoe. The same thing here, they give it like a leather panel. So in terms of like support, it does its job well. Also, this shoe does not have a torsional plate, like it doesn't have any TPU or carbon fiber in the back of it, but it does have a bridge in it, and this bridge actually acts as your torsional support for your foot. The last thing I want to talk about these shoes is the issues in it, or the issues with it, and of course, like most other shoes today, like modern basketball shoes, they're not actually built to be very durable, or in terms of like the traction structures, they're not built to last long. The reason for this is because like shoes today are now built for more performance based, and second of all, like if you burn through your pair, the company wants you to go back to their store and buy another pair of these. So that's what they do. So durability in the traction sense is not going to be very good, especially like these traction pattern, like these lines is a little bit small, is a little bit like very slick. So you're gonna burn through these things very quickly. So for me, that I'm a outdoor hooper, like these things is actually one of those minus that hopefully they last enough to where I can buy another pair and be good with it. And the second like issue like I have with these shoes is like they do fit very very snug, and I have a wide foot. Like it's not very wide, but it's wide enough to where you can actually I can actually feel some pinches in these areas. And when you start playing on these things, like at the start, you're not gonna feel it as much. It's usually later in the game where it actually like starts pinching here. So definitely be wary of those things. The overall of these shoes is like it's actually amazing. Like it's one of those all-arounders, like especially in a very cheap price point. Like it actually covers you and is very reliable in all aspects, like good traction, good cushion, supportive materials even though it's not leather, and it's very breathable too, so you're not gonna have any blistering problems. So it's one of those shoes that if you can get a pair, or if you still see a pair of these things, probably check them out, because these things is worth it. Like it's worth every penny, and it's a very good basketball shoes. Like there's nothing else I can say, but it's just a very good basketball shoes. So in terms of the performance review of these shoes, like that does about it. Like if you have a pair of these things, and like you can actually chat me in the message box below. Like you can comment down like what your experience is in these shoes. Like is it good or is it bad, or is it identical? But anything else, like it's a good shoe. So thank you very much for tuning in, and see ya.